I'm Oskar.
And I'm Dan.
And today we're in
Toronto.
After traveling full-time for 7 years and visiting over 100 of the world's countries, we're on the lookout for a place to call home. Our names are Oskar and Dan, and after we met 10 years ago during high school in Sweden, we've been on the road more or less constantly. Now, as we move into the next phase of our lives, we want to find a place to settle down. And since we had an event to attend in Toronto, we thought this was an excellent first city to evaluate through this lens.
Good morning. Hello from Canada.
Hello, eh?
Yeah, hello. So we just landed in Toronto and we are about to leave the city immediately to take a ferry straight out, which seems like the right thing for us.
We want to get like a bird's eye view of the whole city, the skyline, so that's the first thing we're doing. We were expecting a boat like this. Instead we got this.
The Toronto skyline is dominated by the CN Tower, which is actually so much cooler in real life than we were expecting. The tower was completed in 1976, and with its 553 meters, it was the world's tallest freestanding structure for 32 years until it was surpassed by the Burj Khalifa in 2007.
So, why are we here? Well, basically, little Dan here is speaking at a travel conference, little Dan, called the Travel Summit. It's here in Toronto this weekend. We thought this was an excellent opportunity to check out Toronto as a potential future home. We haven't been in Canada since 2017. We've never been in Toronto together. This is my first time here. So we really just want to check it out and see if it could possibly be a place we'd want to call home.
We're gonna be honest and say we didn't get nearly as much time to experience Toronto as we would have hoped because of the conference. So our evaluation will admittedly be a little shallow, but see it as a first vibe check, if you will, of Toronto from two experienced travelers, and we'll share our final verdict at the end.
Alright, so far we're here in pretty much the last week of April, and it is a lot colder than we thought it was gonna be. We did not pack for this weather. This morning as we went out, it said feels like 0 degrees Celsius outside. Today it's gonna get up to like 12. Definitely on the colder side, but hey, we're Swedish.
But
We're Vikings. We can toughen up and head out that. How do you say that in English? I don't know.
Persevere.
Persevere, yes, exactly. So if you saw our video where we gave you a quick life update, you saw we have a list of metrics to kind of help guide us a little bit and give this more structure as we're looking for our future long-term home. And one of the metrics is sunshine hours, because we do want sunshine in our lives. And Toronto just makes the cut with a little bit over 2,000 sunshine hours a year. So,
but that doesn't consider that it's freezing cold, which is in May, which is like, okay, I think we're feeling a little more south, but
potentially, but we're not going to rule it out just yet.
Yeah, after 1 hour of ruling it out, it's too cold today.
This is also like pretty much Canada's most southerly city, I think. So I don't know.
This and that.
The rest of the time we're here, it doesn't seem like the weather's going to be too good. So we're very lucky today with the sun. The thing is, we're also not trying to really see these places that we're going to in their prime, you know, like we're not trying to go there during like the best season. It's good that we're getting to see a bit of the reality of what it would be like to live here, you know, all year round. Not just like during the peak of summer.
Okay, but here's my thing about what Oskar just said. I'm realizing that I think to fall in love with the place, you kind of first need to see it at its best, because otherwise I just feel like we're never gonna fall in love with anywhere if we only go there during off season, because then we don't see what's possibly amazing about it.
It's a tough balance.
It's very, very cold, so I'm thinking we should get a hot drink. And of course, there's only one place to get it in Canada.
So all the way back in our Saudi Arabia videos, I pointed out there was this street in Riyadh where I was like shocked basically to find a Starbucks, I think a Costa Coffee, and some other place like an international chain right next to each other. What did I leave out from that? Dunkin', Costa, and Starbucks with the normal logo. And every single Canadian watching that video, I think, left a comment being very enraged, and it's time for some redemption. Let's try it for the first time. I've never tried anything here.
well needed. It's amazing, actually. So delicious. So now I get the hype about Tim Hortons, and I just got vanilla latte with soy milk and less syrup, but it's awesome.
This is a dirty chai latte, so it's chai latte with espresso shots. I love that I just got like a chai tea bag.
Chai tea, just because that's what they call it here. Just show it. Just show it. It says on it.
It is, yeah. It says
we
tea
know
chai.
it's not chai tea.
Yeah, we know it's not TT. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, my hand
I mean,
is too cold.
Yeah, okay, let's keep walking. Alright, so a few quick facts about Toronto. It is the most populous city in Canada. It has about 3 million people living within the city limits. In the metro area, there's around 6 million people, but there's also something called the Golden Horseshoe area, which has around 10 million people living in it. It's made up of a bunch of cities that are here around the western sort of end of Lake Ontario. Toronto is, however, not the capital of Canada. That is Ottawa. And considering that Canada as a whole has just slightly less than 40 million people living in it, and that there are around 10 million people living here in this area, you could say that it's quite concentrated. This is a huge population center considering just how vast Canada is. Toronto is also part of the Great Lakes region, which holds a huge proportion of all of the world's fresh water because, yeah, the lakes are pretty massive. Alright, okay, it's time for our first meal.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's it. All right. Okay.
Like I said, it's time for our first meal in Toronto. Very predictably, we have ventured east again.
Or west. Well, yeah, it's technically east, but it's probably closer to go west from here to get to China. I think.
Here we have barbecue lion's mane skewers. Very excited to see what that's like. We have a small tom yum soup that came with the lunch special. We have cold Sichuan noodles, and we also have a mapo tofu curry and some green tea.
I sound very stupid, but we made it to some kind of lower area. There's not just high rises. Oscar's doing all the leading today, just showing us around, which I appreciate. I just follow along, but I love this. And look at this church with these trees.
Someone is a itty bitty bit anxious
Yeah.
for the conference.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's good. You know how people say you should frame your anxiety or your nerves as excitement, and I'm just like,
Lunch was good, maybe nothing to write home about, but a pretty solid place. Now we are on the lookout for dessert, and I found this insane looking vegan French patisserie that is in an area we were gonna go to anyway because I'd marked it. It's called Kensington Market, but really it's not a market, it's more like a neighborhood. But it's supposed to be one of the most diverse neighborhoods of Toronto with restaurants from literally all around the world.
Something not a lot of people know about Toronto is that it's one of the most multicultural cities in the world. There are more than 180 languages spoken in the city, and 53%, more than half of the city's population, was born outside of Canada.
Continuing our croissant, and pure chocolat craze that we've been on for the past few months.
wow.
Genuinely so good. And the macarons too.
We're just walking around the absolutely stunning University of Toronto campus.
Beautiful.
And I just was like, how old are these people here? And I was like, yeah, they're 18 or 19. And then I was like, so that means they were born in 2006?
Illegal.
Yeah, literally illegal. Undergrads born in 2006.
If anyone is born in 2006 or later watching this,
No hate, just
No
like,
hate
wow,
at
we
all.
feel old now
Yeah.
suddenly.
and you'll be here one day.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
I mean, we know we're not old, but it's just like, it takes a while to get used to the feeling of you not being like the youngest.
Yeah.
What is this? Casual. It's like, this is my bench.
How is it just sitting there? You know, in like certain parts of the world where they walk around with falcons or like
Certain
hawks or
parts of the
whatever.
world.
The Middle East, like Dubai, and they'll be like, oh, photo, Yalla, habibi, falcon.
Okay. Oscar's alter ego.
Here, he's just sitting here. Like, how isn't everyone like taking a picture? I don't get it. Alright, so we've had a very pleasant day exploring Toronto. Now it's time for formalities and the conference.
Yeah, mingling session now, so excited to see who we meet.
I'm excited for it to be over, I think, for you.
I'm just excited to get some sleep eventually because we are still so jet lagged. So yeah, that's worrying. But I'm sure we'll have, like, usually when you meet nice people, you kind of forget about time. So that's what I'm looking for.
What followed were 3 amazing days at the Travel Summit. We gotta say, our introverted selves can easily get a little anxious ahead of situations like this, but we had the best time getting to know so many amazing people.
Success is on the other side of cringe or something like that. Everyone is really awkward talking on camera. It can take years to get over that, but you just have to keep like exposing yourself to yourself and your voice that sounds horrible and you look so weird.
If we met you there, thank you for being a part of an incredible weekend, and if not, maybe we'll see you there in 2025.
Alright, it's been 2 busy but really fun days at the Travel Summit so far. Today, the weather is perhaps a little more representative of
But it's
Toronto.
not as cold, which is good because we're
Yeah.
walking around wearing suits. The day is over. We're heading back to our hotel to rest for like 45 minutes before a social hour. So
Yeah.
this is very different for us, but we've met
Definitely.
so many lovely people.
Incredible people.
So now I'm like almost excited. Before the summit started, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so exhausting.
I think
But
we both can get very anxious for like social situations. We're not
Yeah.
anxious, but just like we don't want to necessarily put ourselves in
Yeah.
that spot.
So now it was like, oh my God, everyone's so nice. So yeah, I'm excited.
Also, I have to say that we went to the most incredible pizzeria for lunch, and it was honestly like one of the best vegan pizzas we've ever had. So
Yeah.
one more point to Toronto for the food scene for sure.
The thing is, like, I don't think we were maybe supposed to go out for lunch, but we wanted some really good vegan food and we wanted to try what Toronto has.
Yeah.
And I needed to rest my voice because I've been talking so much and I lose my voice very easily. So I was like, well, there's no point in me even being here at all if I lose my voice. So
Yeah.
better to leave for an hour and eat.
You guys might remember from our Morocco videos when we did our group trip there, Dan lost his voice like 2nd or 3rd day
So today we are driving down to the Sahara. Yeah.
for like 4 days or
So
something.
if you're coming on our group trip to Seoul,
Be prepared.
I'm trying to figure out like how to talk to you and also not lose my voice.
Okay, this is not really a time you should be vlogging, but I just want to record this in case something real is actually going on. So the fire alarm just went off in our hotel. We're not using the elevator. We're gonna make our way down as quickly as possible. Just grabbed like a few things, and yeah, hopefully it's nothing. Let's go.
May I have your attention? May I have your attention, please? We are currently experiencing an alarm and are investigating its source. If you wish to leave the building, please use the nearest fire exits.
Wow, okay. I think this is the first time this has ever happened to us. Okay, we made it out.
Can't see anything. This is such like a fever dream because we're already so tired
Yeah.
and kind of messed up. And now this happens and we're just like, I'm like, am I running for my life right now?
Am I seriously running for my life right now? Okay,
don't
we really
see-
hope it's nothing
I
serious.
don't see any smoke. I couldn't find my passport, which is worrying for other reasons.
Okay, it's all good? Okay.
All clear.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're all good. The weirdest thing about that was how like maybe like 9/10 of the whole building just didn't care.
Not even 9/10, like 4 people in the whole building evacuated. And someone apparently hit a pan on some fire alarm thing. So many things about that were so weird, but the fact we're so tired and then no one coming to evacuate besides 2 people who work for Prince of Travel.
We're like, are we imagining this?
Yeah, we're
fire
like,
alarm?
I love that the 4 of us are the only ones who want to stay alive in this
Yeah.
whole hotel.
Yeah, anyway, let's reconvene tomorrow for some more Toronto exploration.
But alas, no more exploration was to be had.
Time to leave Toronto.
Yeah, this is, I think it has potential to be a pretty half-assed video. We've done our best, but yeah, this morning we were gonna go out for like 2 hours and see the city, but we're stuck talking to some amazing people from somewhere.
Yeah, we didn't realize how much time the summit and socializing would take.
Okay, wait, can we just get in frame? I think I'm not in frame. Alright, so admittedly we didn't really have time to explore as much of Toronto as we would have wanted and to kind of feel it in, see if it could potentially be a future base. But I feel like we got a bit of a sense of whether we think it will be or not.
Honestly, I will say that overall, I think we both loved Toronto. I would love to go back, but there were a few deal breakers. So one thing is the healthcare that we learned about. Sorry, plane taking off. What we heard from people we spoke to at the summit is that there's no, first of all, public healthcare in Canada sucks nowadays, or it's impossible to get like an appointment. You have to wait really long, and there's no such thing as private healthcare.
From what we've heard. Yeah.
So in Ontario, so that's kind of something where it's like, okay, you don't want to be, because we've experienced that similar in Sweden, and that's something that drives us nuts because you're paying so much tax, and then the healthcare, which is supposed to be free, just doesn't work so well. So
Obviously we're no experts, but apparently there's only some kind of surgeries or like some types of healthcare where private healthcare is allowed in Ontario.
I think it must be funny for like people, if you live in Toronto, hearing us talk about this, like obviously we haven't experienced it, but we're just like looking at the facts and trying to
That's what
be
we
like,
kind of
what
have
do
to
we
do.
prioritize?
Yeah. Like obviously we can't know it fully deeply with every single place we go to. I just want to talk a little bit about the proximity to nature. I think having the lake right there, I mean, it's so stunning. Like I would love to live in a city by the lake. However, I feel like what it does contribute to is a slightly too cold climate.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's just so funny like talking about this because I feel like we're never gonna find a place to live because like we're so big. We're like the lake is a little too big. It's a little too cold. Even though we're like we love lakes, but
Yeah. Also, that one evening when there were like probably like 24 mosquitoes just on our window in our hotel room, like right next to the lake.
So then we're like, oh my god. Like I don't know. I think just overall going into this, like you'll see, we'll travel to more other places where we're more like seriously considering to live. A part of us was like maybe Canada is a good place for us. Well, saying Canada, so we've been to Vancouver. We love nature, but we're also learning that we also can't live without a city, really. That's slightly the problem.
Yeah.
We understand this is the most like first world problems ever, but there's a lot of people like digital nomads and it's getting, sorry, another plane. Yeah. Like there's, oh my god, this is a good one. United 737
Let's just
Max.
take a
Hello.
breather.
Yeah, there's so many people and more people are gonna be like faced with this. When you have the luxury maybe of trying to get a visa somewhere else, or like as an American citizen, it's not too hard to move to Canada. This is a first world problem, we get it, but it's a fun kind of dilemma and challenge nonetheless.
And I think like this video is a bit of a whirlwind, like kind of just scratching the surface. Hopefully in the future we'll learn to make these videos better, but we actually really get to like deep dive down into what a place is like. Because
I mean, maybe
this is
spending
not
more
gonna
than
be...
one day walking
Yeah.
around is a good start.
Yeah, anyway.
Thanks for joining us. We had a lot of fun anyway. We loved Toronto.
We did.
As a place to visit. And
sure.
we will see you all in the next video. Until then,
See you around the world.